So if I have a pelvis that has an upslip, which is restricted in inferior glide, and if it's biased towards an anterior rotation, I'm going to do this technique in supine. If the patient's fairly irritable, I'm just going to do it with a bed sheet on the table. I'm going to use a towel around his ankle, so I'm just going to come this way, cross it this way, so then I've got good support here and I don't have to pull through his ankle. I'm going to adduct the hip slightly, internally rotate just to lock up the hip joint. Otherwise I'm going to mobilize the hip joint. So I want that to be fairly still and locked up more in closed back position. So then I'm just going to add a little bit of force. And then I'm just going to do a little tug, so you're going to just move down the table. So just let yourself relax and let yourself move down the table. And I'm just going to do a little tugs that way. So it's not very strong or aggressive. So this would be how I would start. Now I've just created friction between his skin and the bed. So if I need to go a little bit more aggressively, you're good. But I've got to do a I'm going to add that and try to tighten up the hip joint. I'm going to do a premandibular hold, because if this doesn't feel good, I'm going to actually add more force here than I'm going to do during my treatment. And if a patient doesn't like it or isn't tolerable of it, I'm not going to do it. Any problems with that? So here I can do a grade 5 manipulation of the upslip, and I've got traction from the table. So I'm just going to do that. Is it all right if I do the technique? So I'm just going to come in, pull down that. If I want to do this technique in prone, because he's posteriorly rotated with an upslip, because typically they don't go just straight up, they'll rotate a little bit. Then I'm going to do that technique in prone. I can either make sure that their head is not in the hole of the table. That would not be good. I can do it this way, and again, so I'm going to just adduct and try and rotate the hip, and I can do my technique this way.